Are you a female living in 2024? Do you have cellulite, body fat, rolls when you sit down, or internal organs? If you answered yes to any of these questions,
you're disgusting.
But we can help. Just call 1-800-YOUR-BODY-SUCKS for a free quote today so that you can go from looking like this to this. And now wouldn't that be an improvement?
My look is hyper feminine, gorgeous, sexy. I've spent over $50,000 to achieve my it girl look.
I spent over 100 grand on plastic surgery.
I spent roughly about 500,000.
I have spent over $100,000 on my plastic surgery.
I have spent $100,000 on my body.
Because as we all know, it is not acceptable to look like this, or this, or this. No. This is the ideal body for a female, and you don't even have to be born with it. It doesn't matter what your heritage is, your ancestry, your genetics, or even your DNA. Through our expert use of plastic surgery and tweakments, we've managed to make every woman's body look the same. The dream body for today's modern woman is nipped and tucked to within an inch of its life. Boobs that would make Pamela Anderson jealous. A waist so small that it would make you wonder how many ribs had to be removed to achieve it. Or how they're managing to digest their food with no intestines.
So I currently have my floating ribs removed. I got them done last year and basically don't really need them. They don't protect any organs.
Model Pinksy Fox hit headlines last year when she had 6 ribs removed as part of her ongoing bid to have the world's smallest waist.
A butt that looks better suited to a gorilla than a human. And don't think your foof is safe just because it's hidden in your knickers. Oh no. You need to get that fixed too. Now, when asking how the fuck we ended up here, the blame usually falls on the same suspects. Influencers, celebrities, they're the enemy. It's their fault we're held to these unrealistic beauty standards. And you're right, they are. But let's not kid ourselves that this is a new phenomenon. Influencers have been around for decades. Look at bloody Marilyn Monroe. 60 years since her death and she is still heralded as the ultimate body goals dream woman. But when you compare the body goals influencer of yesteryear to the body goals influencer of today, you will see that somewhere along the line, something has gone seriously wrong. After all, despite the fact that she had the coveted feminine hourglass figure, Marilyn Monroe's body was still allowed to look like a human female's body. She had a stomach, she had rolls when she sat down, her waist was actually thicker than her wrist, and far from being shamed for it, she was actually celebrated for being womanly, sexy, a bombshell. Whereas the influencers that we have chosen to be body goals today have to make sure to pose like they have a pole stuck up their backside so that their stomachs look as flat as possible at all times. Marilyn, on the other hand, had natural boobies that flattened out when she lay down instead of sticking up straight in the air. She had body fat, even on her back. She had cellulite on her thighs, and even worse, thighs that touched each other. Our influencers have perfected the art of contorting their body into the most obscure shapes to make sure that their thighs look as far apart as possible. Their boobs sit up straighter than the teacher's pet, and of course they don't have cellulite. Oops, I mean, don't look at these pictures, or these, and definitely do not let these pictures see the light of day. We're trying to maintain the illusion of perfection here, remember? We've begun to confuse normal bodily attributes as being flaws that we need to fix. Once upon a time, the female body was allowed to look human. Your boobs didn't have to be surgically inflated. You were allowed to have a belly to hip ratio that actually made sense anatomically. Cellulite existed, but it didn't even have a name because no one cared. But somewhere along the line, our idea of what the perfect female body should look like has become warped. And what was once considered body modification has now become body mutilation. Welcome to 2024, where no part of the female body is safe, and every part of your female anatomy is flawed and needs to be fixed. We've come a long way since the 1950s, but when it comes to beauty standards for your body, we've gone backwards. Marilyn Monroe's hourglass body shape and feminine curves are still idealized, but not in a way that can be achieved by nature.
I don't agree that we should be completely equal. I believe that a woman's role is to please her man. The ideal look that I want to achieve is the most plastic, fantastic, over-enhanced sexual. In total, I'll probably spend over 100,000 pounds on plastic surgeries.
Where Marilyn Monroe's body was built by eating beef liver and eggs and drinking milk and working out for a huge 10 minutes a day, today's version of body goals can only be achieved with the help of plastic surgeons, which is great for the plastic surgery industry, but not so great for us average women who don't have disposable income of millions of dollars in the bank just waiting to be spent on our appearance. The perfect example of this is the lovely Kylie Jenner, aka the poster girl for the perfect female body in our era. With Marilyn Monroe-esque curves, by all counts and purposes, she is perfect. This is the body that every girl would kill to have. She's got the perfect boobs, the perfect butt, the perfect tiny waist, the smooth cellulite-free thighs, and doesn't she know it too? If this girl was chocolate, she would eat herself. Heck, I would eat her too. I love chocolate. And there's nothing wrong with loving the way you look. But where things seem to get a little sinister is the fact that this isn't really Kylie Jenner. I mean, it's her, but this is not really the body that her genetics and her DNA intended her to have. Kylie's real body was a beautiful, athletic, rectangular body shape. She didn't have big boobs. She certainly didn't have a big bum. There wasn't much difference in the width of her chest, her waist, and her hips. Kylie's body was about as far from the slim, thick hourglass body that she has now as you could get. But Kylie, just like the rest of us, was sold the lie that a rectangular body shape is unfeminine, and that to be beautiful and sexy, we need to have curves, but only in the correct places. So what's a girl to do if she's been cursed with a flat ass? Get butt injections, of course. If you thought filler was just for your face, you're wrong. Filler in your butt, aka a liquid BBL, is the new black. I mean, why would you spend hours in the gym building your gluteus maximus when you could just inject filler into your butt? Be like these girls and get bum injections and you'll have an instant booty. Heck, this girl even vlogged herself getting what she calls the Kylie Jenner butt and hip injections.
It is FDA approved, and right now my body is how it was when I got my BBLs.
But she's also had a surgical BBL, so she's getting butt injections on top of a BBL. By the way, a BBL, for those of you who live under my rock with me, is otherwise known as a Brazilian butt lift. This is where a surgeon will stick a huge needle into your body to suck out fat from undesirable areas, such as your back and your arms and your belly, mix it all together, and then re-inject your fat where society tells you it's allowed to be, such as your bum.
I'm going to ISMA to get a fat transfer because I'm not happy with mine. This is my third time now. Still feel like, even though my body's a bit curvy, it's still a bit square, and that's not what I want. I want my waist like proper taken in. Can't wait to have this fat taken up my face here. Which is so fat. Do you think you'll get a lot of fat from me?
It's only fat, right? We used to have a fatty neck.
I feel like shit. I just hate looking ugly. I can't wait to be pretty.
You know the bum that Kim and Khloe Kardashian were rocking for a few years? Well, let's just say that wasn't created by nature. Allegedly, these buttocks were created by a fat-sucking plastic surgeon. And look, I can see the appeal of having a big butt. In theory, men will find you attractive. You will fill out your jeans better. And if you fall down the stairs, at least you'll have a softer landing. But guys, I think our obsession with having a big booty has gone a little too far. Seriously, what the f*** is going on here? This monstrosity is the influencer Gracie Bond. She boasts over 9 million followers on Instagram alone. So it's fair to say that her influence is about as big as her butt. And I call her a monstrosity not to be mean, but because this ass is monstrous. Now, Gracie swears to anyone who will listen that her ginormous ass is all natural. That her curves are, in her words, God-given. I don't think God would be that mean.
She's assured us time and time and time and time again. God-given, she said. She's assured us that her figure is all natural.
A butt this big that is so damn out of proportion with the rest of her body would put so much strain on her spine. I mean, the poor girl can barely walk properly because her butt is so much bigger than the rest of her body, and yet she's out there trying to convince us all that it's natural. And clothing labels like Fashion Nova are paying her to model their clothes to us dafties who are falling for the lie that this kind of hyper feminine body is not only realistic, but achievable and desirable. And according to Gracie, built in the gym. Quick pause to thank this video's sponsor, Manta. Altering our bodies to fit the beauty standards is not good for us. But what is always good for the girlies is sleep. And let's be honest, most of us aren't getting enough of it. So we find ourselves getting filler injected to banish our puffy under eyes, or spending copious amounts of money on expensive skincare products that promise to make us look less tired. And they may work for a time, but they won't make you feel more awake, more refreshed, or healthy. Forget the tweakments and topical products. What the girls are really crying out for is more sleep, and better quality sleep. That is where this video's sponsor, Manta, comes in. This little beauty right here is the Manta sleep mask in silk. Actual silk. Gone are the days of using a flimsy, old, uncomfortable eye mask, or even worse, not being able to sleep because you're traveling or the room is too bright. The Manta silk sleep mask is made from the softest, most luxurious silk to help you get the best quality, rejuvenating, stress-busting, health-promoting beauty sleep ever. Unlike other sleep masks, this little cutie features tapered eye cups so that you can still sleep comfortably even if you're a side sleeper like me. It's made from 100% pure 30 mom silk that is so gentle on the skin and prevents wrinkles. No matter how you like to sleep, Manta has a sleep mask to suit your needs. You've got cooling sleep masks to help keep you comfy on those hot, balmy nights, weighted sleep masks to help calm you, a sound sleep mask that sings you to sleep if you're into that kind of thing. It's fair to say that sleep masks have come a long way. So if you're after the best night of beauty sleep of your life, now is the time to invest in a Manta sleep mask because the folks over at Manta are having the year's biggest sale. If you spend $99, you get 20% off. If you spend $149, you'll get 25% off. And if you spend $199, you'll get 30% off. So you can grab a sleep mask for yourself, you can grab a sleep mask for your sister, you can grab a sleep mask for your mum, or anyone else who you love that you want to get better sleep. But we're not going to sleep right now. Back to the video. So, considering having a big booty is all the rage at the moment, I mean, girls are literally building entire careers along with building their butts and making millions of dollars in the process, it's really no wonder that BBLs and butt fillers are gaining in popularity.
When I was younger, skinny girls were in, but when you came to Instagram now, the curvy girl was cool. And then with the whole advertising of, oh, Brazilian butt lift, BBL, and you can do this and you can do that, I was thinking, okay, curvy girls are in. If I'm curvier, I'm gonna get more followers. If I get more followers, I'm gonna get more money.
I always wanted a bigger butt. I got my first procedure and it was a Brazilian butt lift. And then I had my second BBL in 2015. I had another BBL in Colombia and they did 360 lipo, ab etching, fat transfer to my hips. I probably say I regret getting butt injections a little bit, but it's made me a lot of money.
All the girls that had surgery and had big butts and big boobs were cashing out. I wanted more money.
Damaris Martinez is a 25-year-old influencer in Miami. She says she started getting buttocks enhancement at 21. Since then, she's gotten breast augmentation, rhinoplasty, and lip fillers, and shared nearly all of it, step by step, for her tens of thousands of followers on Instagram and TikTok.
I believe surgeries are empowering, and I'm not pro-surgery, but I'm pro-choice, doing whatever makes you happy. If surgery makes you happy, then do it. Don't listen to the negativity, but don't just do it because everyone else is doing it. Don't just do it to fit in. Do it because you want to do it for you. Do it because you're insecure about how you feel and it's going to make you happier, but not because you want to fit in. Anytime I post about body augmentation on TikTok, at least 500,000 views.
Many influencers say their views go up when they get new procedures done to their bodies. That's when they enter what some experts call the negative feedback loop. The idea that feedback and engagement on social media pressures influencers to get more work done.
It seems so easy, doesn't it? Pop into your local clinic, get a few injections, and voila! An instant booty that even So Mix-a-Lot would be impressed by.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
But, as is usually the case with these things, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. And as these poor girls have discovered, having an artificially inflated booty can ruin both your body and your life.
Monique, Bonnie, and Pagan have all had a cosmetic procedure called a non-surgical Brazilian butt lift. It involves hundreds of milliliters of synthetic liquid called filler being injected into the buttocks to achieve a larger bum. Multiple women contacted us after our report and shared the psychological and physical pain they've experienced following botched liquid BBLs. Monique spent more than a week in hospital because she developed a serious infection that led the skin on her bum to rot away.
It came up in blisters. They then started to pop, like all the filler was coming out, blood, it was terrible. And the next day I woke up and my side was like black with holes in. They took me for surgery, scooped some of the skin away.
Bonnie collapsed at home after her procedure and was rushed to hospital in an ambulance.
The doctors come into my room and just basically said, look, you're really poorly, you've got sepsis. Had your sister not have called the ambulance when she did, she said you could have died within the hour.
Pagan and Bonnie booked their BBL appointments through a clinic called Lift Aesthetics, whose list of reality TV star clients includes Katie Price.
Here I am, guys, at Lift Aesthetics. Just had 500 mils put in my bum.
Love Island's Hannah Elizabeth.
I have had a top up 500 ml on my liquid BBL.
And Danny Imbert from The Only Way is Essex. Customers we've spoken to say they were drawn in by the celebrity clientele.
And sometimes the desperation to have the ideal hourglass, slim, thick Instagram body can literally take your life.
Alice became unwell after a cosmetic procedure, and she was brought to this hospital where she died in the early hours of Tuesday morning. She had undergone a non-surgical or liquid Brazilian butt lift. It's where hundreds, sometimes 1,000 millilitres of cosmetic fluid called filler is injected into the buttocks to increase the size and shape of the bum. Alice was a mum who had a cosmetic treatment that could change her appearance. Instead, it claimed her life.
Somewhere along the line, our vision of what a female body is supposed to look like has become skewed. And feel free to have your say in the comments down below. I'll be reading all your comments. But this is not what a female body is supposed to look like. We've been sold this idea that all girls are meant to have all the things. We have to have the big booty, the flat belly, the feminine tiny waist, a thigh gap. And are you even a woman if you don't have big boobs? Yet when you pull all this together, you end up looking like a mutant. A caricature of what the female body used to look like. Sure, some of us have big boobs or a small waist or a flat belly or a big butt naturally, but rarely do we have them all together. Which is precisely why so many women are resorting to chopping themselves up in a plastic surgeon's office to help them achieve this aesthetic. Guys, this next story makes me so sad and so mad in equal measure. English makeup artist Isabella Crawford felt so insecure and so badly about her body that she underwent a mummy makeover despite the fact that she's never had kids and was only 20 years old.
Isabella followed influencers on her social media feeds who were promoting trips to Turkey for cosmetic surgery. She contacted directly one apparently very popular surgeon.
What he recommended I get was a mummy makeover, even though I have no kids and I'm only 20 years old. I got 280 tummy tuck, I got a breast uplift, I got 360 lipo, and I got a Brazilian butt lift. So he put us in front of a mirror and he lifted up like my boobs and just drew all over us and was like, "You're gonna look amazing." I just remember seeing my body and I was just black and blue. I don't know how I survived that. We walked through the corridors and there was other girls like me in bandages, black and blue, and they just looked so sad.
It seems as though there is no part of the female body that doesn't need to be nipped or tucked or tweaked in some way, and nothing is sacred, not even your vagina. It's not enough anymore to just need designer handbags and shoes. No, the new trend is the designer vagina.
No one gets to design their but now you can, you know, and so why not? My body looks pretty good, my face is gorgeous, that's what people think, and my pussy's not. So it doesn't match, you know, it doesn't go hand in hand.
The most common type of labiaplasty is for women who want to reduce the size or bulkiness of the inner labia.
I'm definitely trying to make my vagina top of the line, like grade A. I want to feel awesome now, I want to feel powerful now.
Did you guys hear that? Notice that wording? She wants to feel powerful, and she believes that having a designer vagina will make her feel that way. So what she's basically saying is that with her natural vagina, she felt powerless. Imagine living in a world where every part of your female anatomy is scrutinized and no part of us is okay just as it is. If it's not our butt or our boobs or our belly that need to be fixed to fit the beauty standards, it's our vaginas? Leave the foofs alone. Okay, so I'm probably going to get this video demonetized and none of you will be able to watch this because apparently talking about vaginas is very offensive. I'll blow the hole to protect this foof's modesty, but guys, look at this. This is a vagina. See that? That is a labia minora. And just like every other part of our beautiful bodies, it has a purpose. It's not just there for decoration. These skin folds protect the opening of the urethra and the vagina from irritation, dryness, and infection. So they're pretty bloody important. Now, to be fair, some girls do have labia minoras that may hang so low that it causes them discomfort or self-esteem issues, which is, I guess, why labiaplasty was invented. But a designer vagina? Come on. I feel like we're being trolled at this point. Why are we letting our friends and sisters butcher themselves like this. Here was me thinking that body mutilation was illegal in the Western world. Apparently not. Watch this.
Takes off the clamps and he starts to stitch me up. I can see his nervousness. I can feel his nervousness. He's really trying to hold it together. I'm not stupid. I could feel it. I could see it. I could sense it. Every part of my body was screaming at me and there was nothing I could do. He starts stitching me up, stitching up the right side. At this point, I'm thinking, why is he stitching me up? He said there were no stitches involved. Then he starts stitching up the left side, and I screamed and almost jumped off the bed. I'm like, I can feel that. I can't explain the pain to you. The burning of my labia was unbearable. It was horrific.
And it's not surprising. I mean, with the rise of apps like OnlyFans, girls are now starting to worry that even their vaginas don't live up to our beauty standards. Okay. So we've established that to have a perfect feminine body, you need to have fat, but only a fat foof and fat ass, and you need to have curves, but not curves like the ancient symbol of femininity and beauty, the Venus figurine, and not curvy like the women that Botticelli painted and immortalized as the epitome of femininity. No, you can have a fat foof and a fat butt, but you cannot have fat anywhere else. But don't worry, girl, we got you. You don't have to go to the gym or go on a diet. I mean, you still need to alter yourself and change your body to fit our beauty standards, but now you can just inject yourself skinny. Enter the dream drug, Ozempic. Ever wondered how the once voluptuous celebrities are suddenly looking so damn slim? Ozempic. That's how. From Oprah to Amy Schumer, Kim and Khloe Kardashian, allegedly, they're all on it. And why not? After all, we all love a quick fix. And when we're told that to be beautiful, you need to have curves in the right places, but be skinny everywhere else, suddenly jabbing yourself with a tiny little needle a few times a month seems like a piece of cake. Gone are your cravings for food. In fact, some people don't feel hungry at all anymore. And it's pretty easy to get skinny when you don't eat. And the before and after results speak for themselves. TikTok is awash with girls who were once unhappy with their weight, who went on Ozempic and now resemble Kate Moss in the 90s. Skinny is back. Thin is in. But before you rush out to your local chemist to grab yourself some Ozempic, please listen to the cautionary tales of some of the girlies who went on Ozempic and wish they never had.
Give me my 30 kilos back. I'll take that back any day, as opposed to getting on that medication. If I knew the potential risk, I would never have went on it. I didn't really get many side effects in the beginning.
But in February, her health suddenly went downhill.
I had this excruciating pain in the right side of my stomach. Went straight to the emergency department. They ordered some scans and came back that I had a bowel twist and obstruction.
But when surgeons went in to fix the problem,
they couldn't find a hernia, they couldn't find an obstruction itself or evidence of an obstruction, and basically deemed it to be side effects of Ozempic.
And let's also not just brush over the fact that, like most medications, Ozempic, number one, is a diabetes drug and designed for people with diabetes, but that it also can have some pretty gnarly side effects.
Ozempic, it is literally the hottest drug in the country right now. These medications are generally well tolerated, but one of the ways in which they work is by slowing the emptying of the stomach. So one of the side effects, not surprisingly, can be GI, nausea, in some cases even vomiting, as diarrhea or bowel issues, and in rare cases, pancreatitis and inflammation of the pancreas. And these drugs do carry a black box warning for a rare type of thyroid cancer.
When are we going to realize that in our desperation to fit these beauty standards and achieve this idealized perfect feminine figure, we're actually turning the female body into this warped and distorted caricature of what it once was? Like, we're all trying to look like Jessica Rabbit, but Jessica Rabbit is a cartoon, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't need to eat or breathe, so it's pretty unrealistic to expect us real-life human females to fit these bodily proportions. And yet it doesn't stop us trying. Ugh. I'm gonna leave this video here, guys. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Come and leave me a peach. Leave me a peach on Instagram and I will respond to every one of you who makes it over there with a cuddle. I love your guts, guys, and I will see you in my next video next week sometime.